Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Fab's in the house. And today I'm in the house with a special video here for you guys because we're gonna analyze the evolution of the Holt Bladeworks Specter. And for me to be able to put together this video, it took quite some money and quite some time. So let's check it out what I've got here. This is a V2 refined Specter right over here. Let's say this is a V2.5 because it's in between version, and this is a Prestige Specter. Another, let's say, V2.5 Prestige Specter, V3 Prestige Specter. This is just a regular refined version V3. V3 also with the aged copper patina. Nice V3 going on over here. And lastly, just a V4 liner lock over here. So basically this is the lineup, not complete because I'm missing a V1, which is the first version, which you can recognize because it has a screw right over here, exposed for the pocket clip. Also, the version 1 has integral detent made out of 440C, whereas the version 2, they started with the adjustable detent, which you can see right over here, but it's made out of CPM 154 steel. Also, another thing you can use to identify the V2, the start of V2, is the hidden screw in the pocket clip. And along the batches of the V2, there has been 12 subtle different changes throughout the production. Then they introduced the V3 so there's no really like a definite number since they introduced the V2, but let's say the first 120-ish blades are going to be V1, and then it's going to be V2 up until 389, and then it starts the V3. V3 is introducing quite some changes, and then from number 754 you're gonna start seeing the liner lock or the version 4. So let's check the differences because, for example, this is V2, all right? Check out the backspacer. This is also another indication of V2 versus V3 options. Let's just do not a Prestige, just like two refined compared together. You can check the backspacer difference in these two guys. So beside the length, you can also see that in the version 3 they added an extra milling on the scales to match the ridges in the backspacer and also in the heel of the blade. Really nicely done, nicely lined up, really cool. Also, another difference they added from version 2 to version 3 is they changed a little bit the detent system. You can see the lock bar cut out right over here in this area is slightly different. Okay, you're gonna notice that the backspacer is centering, as is a blade centering backspacer, started from version 3. Look at that. The clip has a change in the ramp. You see the cutout on this side pretty clearly. It has a different design, so it's easier to slide into the pocket, the version 3. There is chamfering all around, starting also from the version 3. You can see clearly right here in the back, you see there's internal chamfering going on, whereas here there's nothing. You can also see it from the front. And you can also notice that the version 3 has smaller clearances between the backspacer and between the scales. Okay. So basically these are the main differences between version 2 and version 3. Version 3 to version 4, the main difference is going to be the fact that the version 4 is a liner lock and the version 3 is a frame lock. Okay? And everything else, it's pretty much the same. Also, another difference you might notice, let's say from version 2 and to version 3, is the jimping on the blade. Look at that. very, very different, as well as the jimping going on in the flipper tab. You've got 2 grooves and you got 4 grooves right over here. See? Pretty different indeed. And also you see that the clip itself, beside being like cut at a different angle and different clip ramp, also has a slight change in design. You see there's a hotspot going on over here, which has been rounded off and removed into this guy. And also you see the chamfering is a little bit wider on this guy on the side compared to this one. Okay. So these are the differences and the evolution between the version 2, version 3, version 4 that I can show you right over here. And you'll see now that you're going to notice now that there's some different finish to the handle, patterns. This is a starburst, okay? And this is just a straight starburst pattern going on. There is also a bent starburst, which surfaced later, which basically is the same, but these are like curved lines, let's say, not straight lines. This is the checkered pattern, really cool and elegant. I really like this one, which is also present here. This is the feather, really nice milling going on. I really dig this guy. Beautiful feather right over here. Then you have a pinstripe, which is super nice and really classy and slick, in my opinion, which is the same as this guy over here. Maybe you can see a little bit better. You can see how nicely done and finely milled this is. And also this is the moire pattern going on, which is basically like the feather pattern with no milling for the central area, just nice and clean. Okay. Also you can find a satin pinstripe, which I don't have here, which is similar to this guy. You can also find a flux, which has more curves in the pattern, and ridgeback and the herringbone and the derecho, but are only available on version 4 on the liner lock. Also only available in the version 4 in the liner lock, you can have some milled, machined pocket clips matching the pattern on the handle. Really cool option, as well as for what concerns the handle material, you can have in the refined version titanium, and in the latest edition of the V4 carbon fiber. When you go into the prestige, you can have different materials. For example, this is zirconium scale. You can have some Damascus scale, which I don't have here, but the material is going to be something like that. You can have Damascus inlays, like bolster, sorry. So like really, the materials are different for the prestige grade, which has 3D milling, the different material, and also can sport some Damasteel, like in this case over here. The refined grade, which is the lower level, let's say, still has 3D milling, but doesn't come with any special handle for the materials for the handle, or for the backspacer or the clip. So the refined version will keep the 3D machine, the 3D milling, as opposed to the utility grade, which only has 2D machining, but has now been discontinued. Also, as of September 2020, the Specter is gonna get retired, and you won't be able to get it anymore. And basically, this knife here was available through Lotto, held over the website or on Facebook. So you had the chance to participate to the Lotto, and if you won the Lotto, you were able to purchase the knife. So that's why The price of these guys is pretty high on the secondary market because there's not many available. And the total overall production is going to stop around 1100 samples, let's say. Also, in this situation here, you can see some different blade finishes. For example, this is like a stonewash version 1, which is pretty rare. And then you can see, of course, this is Damasteel blade. Really, really cool. It's polished, but it's only for prestige. Near mirror finish. Also super cool. Here you have a different stonewash finish. See, really, really nice. And in this case here, you have another like mirror wash kind of finish. And you can get to the near mirror again for this guy. Really, really nice and shiny. Also, something interesting you can spot in this picture over here is the different pivots. So, for example, this is a dot and arc pivot, really, really cool, which is different than just the pivot right over there. And then you've got the radial with dots pivot, as opposed to the radial only with no dots. How cool are these? Another one is the geared or gears pivot. And there's another couple, which are the bullseye and the plane, which I don't have over here. Also, something that has changed during time is the presentation box. So at the beginning, they started with this square box, really, really cool, with a nice cutout like this. And then they switched to a more ship-friendly, I guess, rectangular box. Same foam laser cut. And at the shows, they used to give knives in these pretty cool pouches right over here. Also, when you purchase a Specter, it's gonna come basically with a Selinko card, like this one over here, which is basically using NFC technology. You just put this close to your phone, download the app, of course, and it's gonna give you all the specs for your Specter. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.